So, how are you? Today we are going to look at how to convert unit step form to interval form. Now, here, actually, this is one of the easiest things that you can encounter here. There is nothing that is very hard to do here. We're just going to do few problems and then everything will be fine. Excuse me. And then there are some there are some rules that I want you to grasp, because it's one of the easiest things that you need to do. Because in an exam room, you're not going to be asked to find the interval form, or to convert from unit step to interval form, or from interval form to unit step. You need to figure it out by yourself. So I'm just going to do two or three examples, and then we are going to proceed to another topic. So the first thing that I want you to know is that when you convert from unit step form to interval form, the most important thing that you need to know, you need to understand how many unit steps that you are given there. That is the first rule that you need to encounter. So the first step is count how many units step you have. The reason we count how many unit step we have, because it's going to give us how many intervals, and then it's going to give us again how many diagrams. How do you write diagrams? Diagrams. So by counting the number of unit steps that you have, it's going to give us some diagrams, right? And what you need to know here, the second step, we need to draw the table, because drawing the table will depend on how many intervals that you have. And then by drawing the table, what we are going to do by drawing the interval, we are going to interpret. This is how you write interpret. Something like this. We are going to interpret the diagrams. Lord, why I'm writing diagrams like that? We are going to interpret the diagrams, right? Now, if you have three diagrams, we are going to interpret those three diagrams, right? So we need to understand that. And then point 3 is that we need to keep this in mind. If you have u of t minus a, I'm just going to write it here. Anything less than a is multiplied by 0, and anything greater is multiplied, something like this, multiplied by 1. So if you have u of t minus a, anything that is greater than 0 is multiplied by 1, and anything that is less than a, it's multiplied by 0. I think these three rules, I have explained them, how they work, and we are going to look at an example now. Right. So let us look at this function. Y is equals to 4 mu of t minus 2t plus 3 mu of t minus 2, and then plus t squared minus 3t plus 1 mu of t minus 4, like that. One thing that you need to understand here, the first thing that I'm just going to point out, these signs are random. Sometimes it's going to be minus minus, sometimes it's going to be plus plus, sometimes it's going to be minus plus or plus minus. They are random. So do not ask questions about minus the plus. It's not going to be minus plus, sometimes it's going to change. Another thing that you need to keep in mind is that this unit step, because we have how many unit steps that we have? We have u of t, we have u of t minus 2, we have u of t minus 4. This unit step that you have here must always have a pattern. If you have u of t and then you have u of t minus 2, here you must not have u of t minus 5. No. You need to have u of t minus 4. We need to have subtracted another minus 2. So they need to have a pattern. They must not have a rigorous pattern. They need to have a pattern. And your unit step is always going to be minus inside. You never have a unit step that has a plus. You need to have a unit step that has what? That has a minus. So I think that you have a picture in mind. Now we know that we have 3 unit steps, and the next thing that we need to do, we need to draw the diagrams for each of these unit steps. So let's draw the diagrams. Right? So the first one says mu of t. So anything that is less than 0, it's 0 here. Anything greater than 0, it's that. So it's 1 here. And then that one, it's minus 2. So that is 2. So anything this side is 0. Anything greater than 2, it is 1. Right? So that is your unit step. And the last one, it's minus 4. So it's just going to be 4 here. Anything less than 4 is 0. Anything greater than 4 is 1. So we have drawn the diagrams. After that, we need to draw the diagrams. We need to draw the table. And how do we draw the table? I am going to show you right now. We are always going to draw these tables in this manner. We are always going to draw these tables in this manner. Remember, because we are drawing this table, because we need to find the intervals. So how many diagrams do we have? We have 3 diagrams. So we need to have 3 intervals. So what is happening now? Lord, help me. Right? We have these 3. So after this, we're going to draw a vertical line like that. A vertical line like that, we are going to write here what you're going to write here, we are going to write these things per interval. So I'm going to have 4 mu of t. Then second, we are going to write minus 2t plus 3 u of t minus 2. Draw a vertical line. And the last one, it is t squared minus 3t plus 1 mu of t minus 4. Like that. Just going to draw it like that. And then here we are going to write intervals. We are going to write intervals. So this is how you write your intervals. What is your first unit step that you have? Your unit step first, it's this one. So it's going to be what? It's going to be 0. Less than equals to t. What is your second unit step from u of t? It is t minus 2, right? So this thing must be less than 2. Right? So in this case, we are going to start with the 2 here. Less than equals to t. What is the second unit step? What is the third unit step? This is close to t minus 1. T minus 2, it's t minus 4. It's going to be less than 4. And then 4 is your last unit step, right? So it's going to be 4 less than equals to t, like that. Right. So we have completed your table. Now let us fill it in. How will you fill it in? To fill it in, we are going to say, okay, we are going to write down this 4. Now 4. Now between 0 and 2, is u of t 1 or 0? Between 0 and 2, because this is 0, this is going to be 1, this is going to be 2. Now between 0 and 2, is the unit step of u of t 0 or 1? It's 1. So I'm just going to be 1 there. Now between 2 and 4, is this unit step 0 or 1? It's still going to be 1 again. Between or greater than greater than t, is the unit step of u of t 0 or 1? It's 1 again. So it's going to be 4, 1, like that. Good. And then it's minus 2t plus 3. Now, this unit step of u of t minus 2, between 0 and 2, what is the state of that unit step? The state of the unit step is what? It is 0. So you're going to multiply this. That's why I said here, you need to multiply it by 0. And we are using this interpreting the diagram. Now it's minus again, 2t plus 3. Now between 2 and 4, this is 4 here. Between 2 and 4, what's the state of the unit step? It is 1. So I'm going to multiply it by 1. Minus 2t plus 3. Between anything that is greater than 4, this unit step again is what? It is 1. Right? So we are going to proceed to this one again. 2t, t squared minus 3t plus 1. Now between 0 and 4, between 0 and 2, this 2 is the middle here. Between 0 and 2, what is the state of the unit step of u of t minus 1, u of t minus 4? It is 0. Keep that 0 there. And then between 2 and 4, what's the unit step state? Again, it's 0. Now between anything that is greater than 4, the unit step in this case is going to be what? It's going to be 1. So your final answer, you're just going to add across. 4 minus this thing times 0 plus that thing times 0 is just going to be 4. It's going to be 4. Add across again. 4 minus 2t plus 3. That is just going to be 1 minus 2t. Like that. And then 4 minus 2t plus 3. And then plus 3t squared. So it's going to be t squared minus 5t. And then 4, it's 1 plus 2. Because we need to add across. And then, this what you have here are your intervals. So now your interval form will be y is equals to 4, 1 minus 2t, and then t squared minus 5t plus 2. Now 4 is between what interval? It's between 0 less than t less than 2. 1 minus 2 is between what interval? 2 less than t less than 4. T squared minus 5t plus 2 is between what interval? It's between 4 greater than t. So we have converted that unit step to what? To interval form. So this is the rule basically. There is nothing that is hard to do here. There is nothing that is hard to do here. So let us look at another example. I think it's the last one because you need to practice using these two examples here. So number 2, y is equals to 3t minus 1, and then if this is u of t, plus 2 in bracket t minus 1, like that, and minus t squared plus 3t, u of t minus 2, like that, right? So we need to draw the intervals. So drawing the intervals, right. Now, this unit step of u of t, anything that is less than 0 is 0. Anything greater than 1, it's 1. It's 1, so it's something here. So anything that is less than 1 is 0. This is 1. Anything greater than 1 is 1. It's 2, so it's 2 is here. Anything less than 2 is 0. Anything greater than 2, it is 1. And then we need to draw the diagram. Right, and then right here, intervals. Right, then we are going to have 3t minus 1 mu of t two of t minus 1 minus 2t squared plus 3t mu of t minus 2. Now, what are your intervals? Your intervals are anything, your first interval, your first unit step is 0, less than or equals to t. What is your second interval? Is 1. 1 here, less than or equals to t. What is your second interval from t minus 1? Is t minus 2, so it's less than 2. Is there any unit step after t minus 2? No, so it's going to be t greater than or equals to t, like that. 2 greater than or equals to t. Now, some of you want to cram this, but the algorithm is always like this. It's always 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. If you only have 3 unit steps. If you have 4, it's going to be 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. It's always going to be like that Bernoulli Boolean algorithm. Now, between 0 and 1, what is the unit step of between 0 and 1, what's the unit step of that? It's going to be 1. Between 1 and 2, the unit step is 3t minus 1, so it's 1 again. So it's 3t minus 1. Again, it's 1. T. Between 0 and 1, the unit step again is 0. 2, and then between 1 and 2, it's going to be 1. 2, between greater than 2 is just going to be 1. Again, minus t squared plus 3t. Between 0 and 1, it is, because that is 2, that is 1. Oh, it's 0. Minus t squared plus 3t. Between 1 and 2, it's still again 0. Greater than 2, this is going to be t squared plus 3t, and it's 1. And then you need to add across. By adding across, you are going to have here 3t minus 1. And if you add across here, you are going to have 3t plus 1. if you add across here, we are going to have negative t squared 0 plus 1, like that. So your interval form, it's going to be y is equals to 3t minus 1, 3t plus 1, minus t squared plus 1. Now, between what interval? 0 less than equals to t less than 1, 1 less than equals to t less than 2, and then 2 greater than equals to t. So we have converted this from the unit step form to the interval form. So you're going to do this again on your major test if they ask you. Thank you so much. Bye.